There once were two frogs, Ferdinand and Finley. Ferdinand lived in a deep muddy swamp, shaded by tall trees and buzzing with life. Finley, on the other hand, lived in a small puddle right by a busy road. Finley's puddle was small and often dried up under the hot sun. The constant noise and danger of the road frightened him. Ferdinand, seeing his friend's plight, decided to intervene. "Finley, my friend," croaked Ferdinand one day, as he sat on a lily pad, basking in the morning sun. "Why do you stay in that dangerous puddle? It's so small and exposed. Come live with me in the swamp. It's cool, shady, and safe. There's plenty of food and friends." Finley, nervously dipping his toes in the shallow water, shook his head. He looked around, uncertain. "I appreciate your offer, Ferdinand, but the swamp is so far away. It feels like a different world. What if I get lost? What if I can't find my way back? What if I don't like it?" Ferdinand sighed deeply, understanding his friend's fears. He knew Finley was afraid of change. The unknown was always daunting. "But Finley, your puddle is dangerous. It's not safe here. Don't you see the cars speeding by? One wrong move and you could be in serious trouble." Finley looked at the swamp in the distance, contemplating Ferdinand's words. The swamp did seem inviting, but the journey there was filled with uncertainties. Taking a deep breath, Finley finally said, "Maybe you're right, Ferdinand. Maybe it's time for a change." "I'm used to it here," Finley insisted, his voice trembling slightly. The small puddle had been his home for as long as he could remember. It was a place of comfort, a sanctuary amidst the chaos of the world. The thought of leaving it filled him with dread. "This is my home, even if it's not perfect." The swamp, with its murky waters and dense foliage, was far from an ideal place. But it was familiar. Finley knew every nook and cranny, every hiding spot, and every danger that lurked within. The swamp is big and scary. The vastness of it was overwhelming, and the unknown territories beyond his puddle were even more terrifying. The fog that often rolled in added to the eerie atmosphere, making it seem like a place out of a nightmare. "I'd rather stay where I know what to expect." Finley had grown accustomed to the routine of his life. The predictability of his surroundings gave him a sense of security, even if it meant living in less than ideal conditions. Ferdinand tried to reason with him, but Finley refused to listen. Ferdinand, a fellow frog and Finley's closest friend, saw the potential dangers of staying in the same spot. He tried to explain the benefits of exploring new areas, but Finley's fear was too strong. He was too afraid to leave his familiar puddle, even if it meant risking his life. The comfort of the known outweighed the potential benefits of the unknown. Finley couldn't bring himself to take that leap of faith. Ferdinand, saddened by his friend's stubbornness, could only hope that Finley would change his mind before it was too late. He watched with a heavy heart, knowing that staying in the same place could eventually lead to disaster. Every day, he watched as cars whizzed by, just inches from Finley's puddle. The world outside was dangerous, and Ferdinand feared that one day, Finley's reluctance to move would lead to a tragic end. The fear of the unknown kept Finley trapped, but Ferdinand never gave up hope that his friend would one day find the courage to venture beyond his small puddle. Section 4. A Tragic End. One sunny afternoon, as Ferdinand was catching dragonflies in the swamp, he heard a loud, horrifying thud coming from the direction of the road. His heart sank. He knew instantly what had happened. Rushing towards the road, Ferdinand found the puddle empty, a tragic scene before him. Finley's fear of change had cost him his life. He had been so afraid of the unknown that he had stayed in a dangerous situation, ultimately leading to his demise. Section 5. The Importance of Embracing Change. Finley's story is a sad reminder that change, though sometimes scary, is a necessary part of life. Finley, a small frog, spent years in the same tiny pond, never daring to explore beyond its familiar waters. He watched as other frogs ventured out, discovering new ponds, meeting new friends, and experiencing the wonders of the world. But Finley stayed put, too afraid to leave his comfort zone. Staying stuck in our comfort zones, even when they are no longer serving us, can have serious consequences. Finley's pond began to dry up and food became scarce. He felt lonely and trapped, realizing too late that his fear of change had cost him dearly. The once vibrant pond was now a shadow of its former self, and Finley was left with regret. It's important to remember that embracing change can lead to growth, new experiences, and a better life. When we take that leap of faith, we open ourselves up to endless possibilities. Just like the frogs who ventured out, we too can find new opportunities, make new connections, and enrich our lives in ways we never imagined. While it's natural to feel afraid, we must be brave enough to venture out of our puddles and explore the vast, exciting swamp that life has to offer. Embracing change is not just about survival, it's about thriving and finding joy in the journey. So let's take inspiration from Finley's story, and remember that the world beyond our comfort zones is filled with endless possibilities waiting to be discovered.